Hey guys, this is AI Gaming 1776 and we're looking at Assassin's Creed Unity with a GTX 960. This is a 4GB GTX 960 by EVGA. It is a For the Win card. In the upper right hand corner you can see MSI Afterburner and Fraps, although Fraps is obscured. So the first line you see GPU temperature and then you see the clock speed. We're at 1405 for the clock speed, which is not bad. That's out of the box, no overclocking. We are using 3.251 gigabytes of VRAM, so we're using more than 75% of the VRAM on the card. We're getting 47 frames per second, and we're using 6.5 gigs of system RAM. Textures are ultra high. This is 1080p 1920 full screen. Textures are ultra high. No, environment quality ultra high, texture ultra high, shadow quality high, ambient occlusion is SSAO, anti-aliasing is FXAA, and bloom is off. And the game is just barely keeping a reliable 45 frames per second. Now I said reliable 45 frames per second because it can actually do much higher than 45. But I said reliable. And I think reliable matters. See, I do graphics card benchmarking differently than all the official ways to do it, okay? Like most people do the minimum frame rate, the maximum frame rate, the average frame rate, which is all fine and well, okay? There's nothing wrong with that, and I still watch other people's videos so I can get that information. Not necessarily get that information, but so I can become aware of it, if that makes sense. I think there is value in those kinds of videos, and I watch those videos, and there's nothing wrong with those videos. But what I do is a little bit extra. It's kind of supplemental to those videos. So just standing here, we're getting 53 frames per second. See, down there where all the people were, we're getting 45. Now, these are not bad settings, okay? This is almost close to maxing out 1080p. I mean, the shadows are turned down. The ambient occlusion is turned down. The anti-aliasing is not very high. But to be honest with you, FXAA looks good in this game. I don't think it looks bad. So I don't think that's too big of a sacrifice. Can I get down? Let me get down. So we're going to climb the Notre Dame over there, if I can. This is Assassin's Creed, so the controls are a little bit wonky. Everybody pretty much knows that. But some of it is user error. I could have chosen to be standing in a different place when I started the video. Okay, we're getting 46, 47 frames per second in this area with all these NPCs. All right, not too bad. It's completely playable. It looks good. In all honesty, I give the GTX 960 props all the time. I think the GTX 960 is a good graphics card. However, this game, and everyone knows that this game kind of struggles, I would say this game, you almost need a 970 to make the game look impressive in 1080p. All right, and I'll do a video at the 970 in the future. By the way, I'm using a camcorder instead of game capture footage because when we get up here, you'll see this actually goes above 60 frames per second. And I've been using a high refresh rate monitor. This is a 144 hertz refresh rate monitor. I believe it is the XL2430T from BenQ. There is no G-Sync. By the way, if you don't know how to get to the sync point on Notre Dame, this is how you do it. You got to go this way. This is the only way to get up. You got to, when you're facing these things, you got to take the left choice. See, there's another choice over there. Don't take that one. You got to start over here, climb this one, and then jump to the other one. So anyway, 54 frames per second. Normally it does better than that. There we go, 62. All right, I don't know if it's because it's daylight or what. We're getting like 55. So for Assassin's Creed Unity, this is not bad. The settings I chose, this is not bad. I have used this exact same computer, this exact same setup, exact same everything, and I thought it was using this. Oh, you know what? I had this graphics card overclocked a little bit. So we're at 1405. If I can make that easier for you to read there. There you go. We're at 1405 for the operating speed. But when I overclock it, I can get it up to about 1460, and for some reason, just that little bit extra on the overclocking, I only do plus 57 in Afterburner. But that'll get it above 60 frames per second, pretty much 70. And it's really funny to see such a small bump in the overclock have that big of an effect. What you're seeing is what this card does for me out of the box. I have to warn you though, that 1405 speed that you're seeing there, the box only, and I say the box, the internet, because the box doesn't even state it. The internet advertises that the 4GB GTX 960 for the Win Edition from EVGA, that is a lot of words right there. But that card, the boost clock is only rated at 13 something, I think. I'd have to look on Amazon. So let's go ahead and synchronize. But yeah, when I have it, when this right here that says 1405, when that says like 1460, 1468, the frame rate is higher. But again, what you're seeing right now, I have not added any extra overclocking to it right now. So it looks good though. This is going to kill the consoles, like no questions. This is going to destroy what the consoles can do. I mean, you're getting 45 to just about 60 frames per second. I don't have bloom on, but other than that, everything's on. You have ambient occlusion, you have anti-aliasing. The shadows are on high. They're not on soft shadows, which that's an NVIDIA technology. I'm pretty sure you have to have an NVIDIA card for that. I don't know. I don't have an AMD card to verify. So anyway, I believe we are in Paris and we're running around. There's all these NPCs. And this is pretty much how the game performs. Let me show you, if you want to see graphics that look good, let's go to the progress tracker. Because nothing that we just saw there is necessarily impressive. But this will show you a cutscene, and it's going to show you a little bit of action. If you don't care to see that, you can leave the video now. This is like extra, right? Like I've shown you, this is generally how the card performs for me in this game. Now I'm just giving you some like bonus stuff. This is the 4GB card, all right? The game plays okay on the 2GB card, but cutscenes look kind of crappy on the 2GB card. So you're about to see a cutscene here. Let me turn the volume up. We're using a camcorder, so it's going to be external speakers and all that. Yeah, the 4GB card, the cutscenes look okay, but the 2GB card, the cutscenes look awful. Not awful, but they're not very good. They're kind of awful. It's hard to explain. I mean, it's not necessarily unplayable. The load time's pretty long. All right, here we go.
Bonsoir, Olivier. Has Monsieur de la Serre returned?
Senor de la Serre is not expected until late.
Ah, well, I suppose I'll just pass the time with Elise then.
Don't get your hopes up just yet. Mademoiselle is at a private soiree in her honor at the palace.
A party? I wasn't invited.
Neither were the horses.
I'm sure if you misplaced my invitation. I'll find my own way in. How late?
Alright, so see Arno, or whatever this dude's name is, I think it's Arno, the protagonist in the game. When you use a GTX 970, remember you're looking at a 960. When you use a GTX 970 and you turn on soft shadows and you get a higher frame rate, his outfit actually looks pretty good. See this outfit here? You can actually tell it's like this crushed velvet looking material. Now you can tell it is a crushed velvet looking material now anyway. Not saying that you can't, but it's way more obvious. There's more nuance. Another thing, okay, so this doesn't look bad. This looks fine. This looks good. You can see there's reflections going on the table. So this is good. This is completely playable. If you look at the fact that the GTX 960 is considered to be a mid-grade card, and we're getting 55 frames per second right here, this doesn't look bad. However, with the 970 and with the higher frame rate and with the soft shadows on again, The interior sparkles a little bit better. See, there's like gold leafing everywhere. All that shimmers and looks better. So here's the thing. To me, the 960 would be probably, and I haven't tested the 950 yet. The 950 was just announced yesterday, so no, I've not tested one. And I've seen preliminary benchmarks that show that the 950 actually looks like a decent card. Okay, I'm aware of that. But, oh, look at this flooring. See, like the flooring's got some nice reflection to it. So far, without using the 950, especially on this game, I would say a 960... Did I go the wrong way? I thought I go right here. Oh, I got to do this first? That's stupid. Hold on, now I got to figure this out. Oh, see, now the little green thing's over here. New objective. Yeah, so you do have to do that. All right, leave this here. Then you get another cutscene. So I would say a 4GB 960 is like the bare minimum to entry if you don't want this game to look and play disappointingly at 1080p. However, I know a lot of people have no problem using lower resolutions, whether it's 900p or 720p or things like that, in which case, you know, you wouldn't necessarily need a 960. But if you want to play it native, 1920 by 1080p, full HD, yada yada yada, stay at 45 frames per second and above, the 960 is like how you're going to do that. The 4GB one. However, if you want the game to look moderately, and I say moderately impressive at 1080p, then you're going to need a 970. But this is serviceable. This is not bad. Here's the thing. For all the crap that this game has been given, and trust me, like, it still does not run perfectly. I would say with the 970, the game kind of looks impressive. I played it with a 970. I did not get this game until the spring of 2015, so the game had been out for almost 6 months probably. Let's see, November to December. About 4, 5, 6 months. I'm not quite sure when I got the game exactly. But the game had been out for 4 to 6 months. And the point is, I had a GTX 970 the first time I played it, and it actually looked impressive. Was it the best thing you'd ever seen? No, but the ambient occlusion... Oh, and I could also use HBAO Plus with the 970. So the ambient occlusion was pretty. The shimmering and reflectiveness and all that was pretty. You could see detail on the clothing really well. But this is serviceable, all right? This is not bad. So anyway, this video and a bunch of videos that I'm doing on the 960, I'm doing a very thorough review of the GTX 960. I have 4 cards to compare. I have 2 different 2GB cards. One is factory overclocked and one says it's factory overclocked, but it's like closer to reference. So I have 2 2GB cards, plus I have a 2 4GB cards. All right. So to speak clearly, 2 2GB and 2 4GB, and they're even different. There's a lot of differences. Okay, so one uses a reference cooler. 2 of them are EVGA for the Win editions that use the ACX 2.0 Plus cooler, and then one of them is a mini ITX card. So there is a lot of variance, and also on top of that, that mini ITX card, that is a 4GB card, so it's kind of well-rounded. And I'm going to be doing a thorough review on all that. Point being, these videos, the one that you're watching right now, plus other ones that I'm doing, I've already posted one for Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'm working on more. These are live benchmarking, showing you what the card can do. So we're at 48 frames per second. We're using 2.9 gigabytes of VRAM. We're at 70 degrees. The operating speed is still 1405. As you can see, like, this is not bad looking. I mean, this is kind of attractive. But again, the 970 is even more so. But this isn't necessarily a video about the 970. But I do like to give you guys as much information as I can. And again, these videos that I'm doing are supplemental ultimately to a GTX 960 review. So thank you very much, guys. This has been AI Gaming 1776, and y'all have an excellent day.